A frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order. It's Christian Coffins.
DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest.
Welcome to the April 3rd, 2025, Thursday edition of the DarkDox Digest with your host, Christian Coffins.
DarkDox Digest. DarkDox
Digest.
Man, that week went by so fast, and lower third first, please. Jeesh. And now guests. And every episode, all my buttons change because I keep adding something. And today, we're covering demonic possession, so I needed no one other than our Lord and Savior. Give it up, everybody, the light of the world, the Son of God, Jesus Christ himself. You know, it's like he has better things to do. He's a busy guy, so he's not on the show that often. But we need him today because today's episode is called Demonic. And I'm going to open the display capture. Our buddy Tony, who is our quote guru in the DarkDox Network, he's always posting the most interesting quotes, and he suggested we start today with John 16:33. Well, I suggested we start it with today. He said it is the verse of the day, which I agree. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. Give it up, everybody. Once more for Jesus Christ and the good book, the Holy Bible. And I'm really going to rail this home with the Christ is King and my Christianity being Christian Coffins, because you know, people think because I'm a rock and roller, I can't be religious, but like really, this is what our opponents, the left, the ones who take the left path, the ones who cannot be right because they're left, they hate when you say things like Christ is King and I accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and just showing his depiction, they hate it. And it's like, you know, in the movies, they put the crucifix in your face and they're like, you know, it's real. It's real. And they show themselves. And we know who you are. We see you. So, demonic, wild, evil. He had a demonic or cruel gleam in his eye. Diabolical, satanic. Abhorrent, amoral, abominee. Dissolutely, enormity, nefarious, no more Mr. Nice Guy, really, obscene, trespass, unconscionable, abhorrent, dissolute, evil, no good, non-ethical, lawdry, turpitude, I like that, unconscionably, turpitude. Acts or crimes of moral turpitude. Yeah, so it's synonymous. I learned a new word today, turpitude. I like that. So why are we bringing up all this today? Well, a lot of reasons, but here's the headliner, I would say.
New Jersey janitor sentenced after putting poop and bodily fluids in kids' school food. That's the New York Post. It came after a plea deal that led to additional charges being dropped against the janitor, including aggravated assault, endangering a child's welfare, and tampering with food products, the Cumberland County Prosecutor's Office announced in a press release. And here's the individual right here. Self-identified Satanist Giovanni.
Always some feminine little Nancy boy thinking he's a big man putting feces in children's food and blood for Satan.
Impozzolini pled guilty to second-degree official misconduct and third-degree possession of child sexual abuse.
Second-degree misconduct, guys. Second-degree official misconduct and third-degree possession of child sexual abuse material after deliberately contaminating students. The oven is preheated. With feces and bodily fluid. I mean, I'm sorry, we're too lenient. Like, if I were a judge, this would be another death penalty. Anybody that would dare risk the life of a child, putting poop in a child's food, they could get all sorts of diseases. They could get like fatal disease. It's eating shit is serious. I mean, and microdosing it, you'll hear it's gross.
Abuse materials. Child porn.
In my capacity as priest, I force you, whether you will it or not, to descend into this host and incarnate thyself into this bread. Jesus, partisan of hostess, bandit of homages, robber of the affection, hear me. Oh, you lasting foulness of Bethlehem, we command you and confess you. We command you to confess your impunity, your inaccessible crimes. We would drive the nails deeper into your hands. We would press down the crown of thorns on your brow. We would bring the blood from dry wounds on your side. This we can and will do today by violating the quietude of your body, you profaner of ample license.
Notice a trend with these people. They're all fat. They have no self-discipline, no self-respect. And it's gross.
Abstracted, stupid Puritans, curse Nazarene, impotent king, fugitive God, silence, God.
And now he stomps a Catholic on the head, starts slamming his head in the concrete.
Before the mighty and ineffable prince of darkness, Jesus Christ is king. In the presence of all the dread demons of the pit, and in this assembled company, I acknowledge and confess thy past afflictions. I acknowledge and confess my past. Santa Maria
He has good balance, I'll give him that. You saw how he hopped a couple times on one leg.
So this is all Satanism. The transgender on your kids, the GMO foods, the you will eat the bugs. It's all about desecrating God's creation, you. You are God's creation. Your body is the temple God communicates with. And so all the poisons, all the chemicals, all the atrazine, all of it is their attack, their religion, their system. And their little low-level minions are pooping in your kids' food and putting blood in it. But the higher-level ones, they put it right into their veins, like Bill Gates said.
You can check out that whole 40-minute report, link in description at band.video. If you're on X, we are Sacred Owls Unites. But this has been going on for a long time. Here's former FBI chief Ted Gunderson tried to warn you about elite satanic pedophile networks, but you didn't listen.
Good morning. Today is July 25, 2003. I'm Ted Gunderson, former FBI agent. Shortly after I retired, I was asked to investigate, as a private investigator, the Dr. Jeffrey R. McDonald case. It was after that, the investigation of this case, that I realized some of the serious situations that confronted our nation today. Helena told me that Dr. McDonald did not commit those crimes, that they were committed by her satanic cult group. And I said to myself, what's this all about? I don't know anything about Satanism. I read about it in the Bible, of course, and that's about it. It's all really quite by accident that I'm involved in these issues. In the Nebraska case, it's called the Franklin Cover-Up. This is the book here that John DeCamp wrote, by the way. It's all documented in there. And in that particular instance, they were taking children out of foster homes, orphanages, Boys Town. They were taking children out of Boys Town orphanages and foster homes and driving them to Sioux City, Iowa, 184 miles away, placing them in private jets, flying them to Washington, D.C. for sex orgies with congressmen, senators, and dignitaries. For sex orgies with prominent people, including congressmen, senators, and certain people in the White House. A guy named Rusty Nelson was taking pictures of them while they were doing this sort of thing. And so he had these pictures of these dignitaries who were involved in these nefarious sexual activities. Congressmen, senators, as I said. This international child kidnapping ring, I later learned, was out of Washington, D.C. It was very active, and the organization is known as the Finders. Among the many problems we have is the organized child kidnapping ring that's operating not only in Nebraska, but also in Washington, D.C. And I'll start with the Finders case. It has top clearance and protection in its assigned task of kidnapping and torture programming young children across the United States. Its specially trained government kidnappers are known to be sexual degenerates who involve the children in satanic sex orgies and bloody rituals, as well as the murders of other children and the slaughter of animals. The Finders is a CIA front established in the 1960s. It has top clearance and protection in the assignment task of kidnapping and torture programming young children throughout the United States. Members are specially trained government kidnappers known to be sexual degenerates who involve the kidnapped children in satanic sex orgies and bloody rituals, as well as murders of other children and slaughter of animals. They use a fleet of unmarked vans to grab targeted children from parks and schoolyards. In doing so, they use children within their organization as decoys to attract the victims close to the vans where they are grabbed by the adults. Same thing as Paul Benassi told me earlier. They then drug the children and transport them to a series of safe houses for safekeeping. Paul said that as soon as they get them in the back seat of the car, they put chloroform over their faces and they put them to sleep right away. They are then used in their ceremonies for...
I'm sorry, it goes on. It's 17 minutes long. I highly suggest you watch the entire thing, link in description. I've devoted my life to this at this point. This is my website, DarkDox.com. And if you go to SacredOwls.com, it takes you directly to this page, darkdox.me/sacred-owls. And, this is a song that I wrote for a comic book that I created with a soundtrack that goes with the comic book. And so far, it's a 2-part series. I'd like to do a 3rd and final chapter to wrap up this whole Ted Gunderson, Bohemian Grove, Hunter S. Thompson, Rusty Nelson, David Rockefeller story involving these children from Boys Town, Nebraska, who were sex trafficked by Lawrence King, who was, he sang the national anthem for the Republican National Party. So this is not a Democrat-only thing. In the 80s, a lot of Republicans, the Bohemian Grove, the Bohemian Club, they're mostly Republicans. It's very neoconservative. This was the Bushes. Obama, to our knowledge, never made it over there. But they're still active, and they had a silent auction with Conan O'Brien in the past year. So but we've been out there twice. Resist the Grove, Brendan O'Leary, Greg Fernandez Jr. Definitely follow those guys. They've been out there for the past 12 years since 2012. We're now in 2024, and here we are. But I'm gonna play this song for you and talk a little bit about it.
I got those scars on my own one night at a party where Larry King was, and he had brought somebody. I don't clearly remember who it was. Wanted to see how strong a men we were or something, and have us push our arms together. And you push your arms together. King has these same scars. And you push them tight together, and then you light cigarettes, and as soon as you get burning, you just drop them down between your arms and, let it burn. And they made us stand there naked and touch each other by holding our arms together and burn cigarettes. It's on film someplace. They filmed it. Burning.
Like 2003 short border, walked into the hospital in New Mexico screaming, "We're after me because of this book, the Franklin cover-up, he waves leading to his grave." He was given drugs by the doctors to calm him down. Who knows what they gave him? No time for a hospital gown. His head is slumping down and it's going in the ground. Beware, take care. When exposing the dark, you might just spend one. Beware, take care. When exposing corruption, it might lead to your destruction. When the nurses came to check on him the next morning, Boiler was sitting in a chair bleeding from the mouth and quite dead. Former FBI Ted Gunderson demanded autopsy and information. Then he died suspiciously with both questions and answers. Beware, take care. When exposing the dark, you might just spare the mark. Beware, take care. When exposing corruption, it might lead to your beware, take care. When exposing the dark, you might just spare the mark. Beware, take care. When exposing corruption, it might lead to your destruction.
Beware, beware, beware of the big green dragon that sits on your doorstep. He eats little boys, puppy ducktails, and big fat snails. Beware, take care.
Beware. So yeah, that was Bela Lugosi from I think not Plan 9 from Outer Space, but it was one of the Ed Wood movies. It's they do a recreation of it in the movie Ed Wood. I highly suggest. Very so yeah, I mean it's all real, of course, and they tried to smear it as like the satanic panic and that the Christians were just freaking out over everything. And during that time, I mean, I was a child. I was born in '83, so I didn't hear about this stuff until like my 20s, and when I started doing deep dives, after 9/11 and stuff. And this rabbit hole is the craziest. You got to see the film. If you're on Facebook, I'm Christian X Coffins, and you got to see the film Conspiracy of Silence. Should put the link in the description. I'm curious. Over the years, Google has not given you the right thing. See, expression. Okay, a movie from 2003, but this isn't it. So they released this film about the church and corruption and stuff, and they called it the same exact thing as. Wow, I mean it's so buried. 2018. No. TV series. Didn't know about this. So you see, they keep calling other things though, but the original Conspiracy of Silence, Boys Town, it's an 1993 is an unfinished film, and I think we have it at DarkDox, right? We've recreated DarkDox so many times, but this is like, we got to have like a good copy of it in here. Let's see. Conspiracy of Silence. I actually named my song Conspiracy of Silence. Conspiracy of Silence. Okay, good. With the transcripts. And then, yeah, then that's the first time I posted it. And so the song Conspiracy of Silence is on our EP. It's like an extended EP. It's not quite an LP. It's actually a collection of Tales of Terror 1 and 2, plus the tracks that didn't make it onto the album. So yeah, that's on CD and cassette. Yeah, so let's see what we got here. Band.video, yeah, so this should still be out. Fantastic. Yeah, so this is the original film with Paul Benassi and Alicia Owens, Troy Boner, Ted Gunderson, John DeCamp, and there's Alicia Owens. And so this film never actually made it to production. Yorkshire Films, who was commissioned by the Discovery Channel at the time to make this film about Boys Town, which is run by the Vatican. And from my research, it doesn't, like, it seems like, oh, it's the church, and like, no, it's actually this guy Lawrence King, and he ran the Franklin Credit Union, and he was just he was a media mogul, and he had money, and so he was like all over the place, and he involved with the Bohemian Grove. Like, that was part of their sex trafficking network, from Boys Town, Nebraska, to Texas, to Las Vegas, to the Bohemian Grove, Sacramento. There's an airstrip that Paul Benassi talks about in his tapes, but and there's so much more. I mean, it's why, like, they would be in cages, at gunpoint, like they would have to, like, decapitate and have sex with like the dead bodies of children. It's the sickest shit you've ever heard of, and it fucked me up for a while. So here's some more of this demonic stuff. How's that looking? Good. It's in right now. Yeah, so that's so meta. Anyway, Kathleen Fitzgerald posted, KATMANDONT in the DarkDox Network brought this to our attention, so big ups. Lucy Losser, Stevenson City Council member, protesting the Hands Off 2025 campaign Soros, the left, is doing right now. Saturday is a big day for them. You might see some protesters out in the day protesting against Doge, finding all the fraud and corruption. The sheriff's office sent a couple of deputies down to talk with Lucy. People saw Lucy cover up after that. If you are going to give womanhood a try, you must play by the rules. No indecent exposure. Also, there's some insight about this person's behavior. I encourage all Skamania County residents to voice your concerns to the City Council and District Attorney. Thank you. So here we have City Council member number 3, phone number 509-427-5970, email lucy.lawser@ci.stevensonwa.us. Screenshot that. And let her know what you think about her activity based on, this isn't a witch hunt. Let's look at the evidence. Let's see what we got. It's weird not having a lower portion of my body. Like some of these people, am I right? Political climate, invite your friends, neighbors, and newcomers. let's show Skamania County that, I wonder if they like ska in Skamania County, that we are here and we aren't going anywhere. Fists emoji. Noon to 1:30, April 5th. Bring your flags and your signs. Check out Hands Off 2025 for more information and sign inspiration. Skamania County Courthouse. And this is Washington. So, I mean, here they scribbled over, I guess, you know, so are those real boobies? Are those like man boobies? Is this I'm so confused. I don't know. Hello, City Council and Commissioners. I wanted to bring to light our council member Lucy's aggressive comment on Facebook in response to me voicing my concerns over an event that happened this weekend. I uploaded a photo of the comment. This is all a bunch of Karen shit. I'm sorry for the divide that's going on, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I mean, these people are freaks. Long story short, and it needs to be stopped. Because, I mean, you know, kids can see this stuff, and, like, law enforcement up there in Washington. I saw a video the other day where this guy called 911 because a naked dude walked onto his private property, his house, and exposed his naked body to his son, which was like 6 years old. So the guy, you know, chased him off and, you know, scared him off the property and called 911. And he wants to file charges, rightfully so. And he's like, well, I can charge him for the trespassing, but I can't charge him for like a sexual crime. It's like you can show your naked body forcibly to a child in Washington State, and there's a cop on camera somewhere. I won't look for it right now because I got off to cover, but that's disgusting. And I know it's not the cop's fault because he's just taking orders, but it's these judges that try to pass these kind of laws. They weasel their fucking nasty way into city councils, into places of authority. It's frankly what we should have been doing this whole time. I was too busy being a designer that, you know, maybe I should have just dropped everything. But that's the thing. These people are getting Soros money. They're getting NGO money from all. Let me show you something right here. So here's this Hands Off 2025. Right off the bat, you can see, you know, it's well put together. I mean, like corporate. Like, I've been a web designer since '98. Like, tight work. You know, it looks good. It's clean. This is corporate. This is not grassroots. It's AstroTurf. And we had an episode called AstroTurf last week. You should check it out. And, yeah. Let's look at this. National Day of Action, Saturday, April 5th. Donald Trump and Elon Musk think this country belongs to them by saving taxpayers literally billions of dollars that you fucking scumbag leftist has been stealing from us? Okay. They're taking everything they can get their hands on. Where's the evidence of that? In fact, I mean, now, like, we have all of the reciprocal tariffs that are being put in place that are rather fair. Some of them are half, when really it should be even Steven across the board. But, like, Trump's actually being nice to these foreign scumbags that have been fucking us in the ass for the past, you know, what, 100, since Woodrow Wilson sold us out on Christmas morning with the Federal Reserve Act, the creature from Jekyll Island, the income tax, the IRS. Yeah, so they have host toolkits. Let's look at the host toolkit. How to plan your event. Get the Google Doc toolkit. If you'd prefer to explore hands-off toolkit on Google Docs forum, we got you covered on April 5th. And they're going to use this for their ads. I mean, please, that's hilarious. National and local organizations are coming together across the country to organize Hands Off, a national mass activation. That's a word. That activates people. In defiance to Trump-Musk billionaire takeover and the Republican assault on our freedoms and our communities. What are you talking about? Hands Off is an all-in movement for the pro-democracy. This is a republic. This is a republic. We need to stop saying democracy, both sides. pro-worker movement. All of the workers were over there at the Trump tariff thing yesterday. You didn't see it? We'll cover that in a little bit. What are we at? 30? It's going to be long today. A demand and warning and a rally cry that responds to the primary reasons for our mobilization. Trump and Musk are attempting an illegal power grab is a crisis. See, it's all vague terms. They're gutting services, raising prices. They brought down the price of eggs by half. But you don't care about that. My pizza's ready. So I'm going to jump over to this Texas rejects Sharia city, and we're going to come back to this. John Bound report.
Bring about a revolution. If every one of us, brothers and sisters, we are in this audience over 10,000. If every one of us made it our goal that I'm going to change the minds of 10 people, if all the Muslims of America did the same thing, what would happen? We would literally bring about a political and cultural revolution. This is our job in this country.
The East Plano Islamic Center, EPIC, is hell-bent on carving a 402-acre Muslim utopia dubbed Epic City out of Collin and Hunt counties, just 40 minutes from Dallas. Over 1,000 homes, a mosque, a faith school, a college, and athletic fields, all pitched as a well-integrated beacon for Muslim life. Once you scratch the surface, it begins to reek of a Sharia stronghold.
Welcome to Epic 2.0.
Many women from the Middle East actually fled to America, fled to Europe, fled to democracies away from Sharia. I'm one example. But instead of escaping it, they followed us here. We have groups, many Muslim groups in the United States, in Europe, across the world. Wherever Muslims go, they follow us and they start demanding Sharia again.
If the Great White Hope accepted Islam, would you accept Islam?
No. The Islam people see us as infidels, and their whole mission is to destroy the infidels. I know that the Muslims want to conquer the world.
Yeah. No one will shy away from that. You know, we believe in like a
Why you want to conquer the world?
And it's no dark secret, thanks to Zombie Biden, there are cells all across the United States prepared to be activated at any moment.
After questioning by FBI agents, New Yorker Ali Karani admitted in 2017 to being a member of something called Unit 910. It's the Black Ops unit of Hezbollah, controlled by Iran. Karani told agents he was trained to be a suicide bomber and was scouting targets in New York City.
Do you know if there are active terror cells in the United States right now?
These individuals are here, that we need to locate them, we need to remove them, we need to bring them to justice and prevent them from doing harm to Americans.
We got terrorists, we got criminals, we got cartels, we got gang members in our country, and they're starting to, develop, case files on high profile individuals, and they're creating a target list.
Texans turned out in droves to put an end to the infiltration of this foreign influence.
People die every day to come to this country, to become American citizens, to embrace the culture, to live it. My question to EPIC is, why would you come here if you're not going to assimilate? This isn't a little neighborhood with a mosque nearby. No, it's 400 acres of nothing but your ideology.
I spent 3 years working and living in the Middle East. Islam is a way of life, as you've heard on a number of occasions today. The motivation for this development makes you a cog in the wheel, because we've got a number of people in Europe, not unlike the three of you today, a governmental body that made decisions. And there are a lot of legislative people in Europe that are today asking, how in the world did we get here?
Governor Greg Abbott is not swallowing the PR Kool-Aid from EPIC spokesman Yasir Qadi.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also instructed us the best laws to live our lives, the best rules for our well-being. And this system of law, this system of rule is what the Quran itself has called Sharia. Sharia means the path or the way, because this is the way to achieve not only human happiness, but salvation.
As of March 25th, Abbott unleashed a dozen state agencies to sniff out serious legal issues. The Texas Workforce Commission is hunting down Fair Housing Act breaches involving discrimination against non-Muslims, while the Securities Board is chasing investor fraud. The Funeral Service Commission even smacked Epic with a cease and desist for running an unlicensed funeral home. If Epic pulls a First Amendment Hail Mary, backed by the commandeered Soros justice system, we're headed for a legal cage match that will echo nationwide. John Bound reporting for Infowars.
Yeah, so we got it from all sides here in the Christian front and this is nothing new, so of course, we got the Satanists, that are following Lucifer, the morning star, but, now you also have these Mohammed lovers. Mohammed is a pedophile. Mohammed likes to fuck little boys, and you Muslims over there, not all of you, I never say all, but even you Muslims that are good know that there's a lot of those Muslims in it because it's part of your religion. And, if you're not doing it, then are you really Musliming? Maybe you shouldn't. Tony wanted us to read Surah. What do we got here? Surah 4:157 from the Quran, which is translated to, that they said in boast, we killed Christ, Jesus, the son of Mary. Let's get in here, Jesus. The messenger of Allah, but they killed him not nor crucified him, but so it was made to appear to them, and those who differ herein are full of doubts, with no certain knowledge, but only conjecture to follow, for of a surety they killed him not. Yeah, what's the one about banging boys? Because there's a whole lot of that going around in your neck of the woods. But oh yeah, and then this is just in over here. KATMANDONT wanted us to share. USA over 20. This is that weird chick we showed earlier. A young activist in Portland became a national sensation for facing down a line of riot police stark naked, apparently unsure of how to justify attacking a nude person sitting in the street with no weapons or protection. The police stopped shooting impact munitions at retreating protesters and backed off, proving the Greeks had a point about apotropaic qualities of nudity. That's a new one. What does that word mean? See, I don't know all the words. This is how I learned them. Apotropaic. Some Hayek. All right, what do we got here? Sorry, I just have to do it. Having power to avert evil influences or bad luck. Huh. Well, that's an appropriate word for today. Apotropaic. Can I get like a sound? Yeah.
Apotropaic. Apotropaic.
Apotropaic.
Apotropaic.
Apotropaic. Huh. It's a pain in the ass word to say. But yeah, so definitely watch Conspiracy of Silence. This hands-off thing is a more fucking overpriced rubbish to try to convince people. I mean, it's cute. Look at this. They have little buttons. Like, this is how you manipulate. Yeah, I could write anything on a website that looks like this, and you'll believe it. Not you guys, because you're watching this. You're smarter. De-escalating training. Here we go. A whole hour now.
Tonight. The Trump administration hasn't been hiding its increasingly aggressive attempts to suppress the voices of the people, and we won't let that happen. Muhammad Khalid's unlawful arrest is just one of the administration's largest attacks on our rights, and it is undoubtedly fear-inducing, but we will not be silenced.
In addition to that, you could help lead people around you to drown out their messages with songs and chants, so that to make essentially what they're doing meaningless, right? And then in addition to all that, you want to make sure to alert your event organizer or safety leader.
So hecklers, spot the behavior, insults, name calling, or filming. So, they're talking about, the news. Because that's what I go out like a reporter, I mean, I'm reporting on what's going on, and I bring it to everybody here at the show and I am a part of the media. I am an independent journalist, investigative journalist, and that's just my day gig. That's not even my day gig. It's like a hobby of mine. I have always done it. So yeah, I try not to insult them unless they're being rude to me. It's like if they started it, I'm happy to insult you. I'll do it all day. I like doing it. Name calling. Address the behavior, ignore, step away, drown out their messages with songs and chants. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Yeah, as you saw in our Tesla takedown last Sunday. Alert event organizers or safety lead. Instigators. Spot reckless urging, disruption, or physical aggression. Stay calm, don't engage, and step away, alert organizer. Acting suspiciously, unfamiliar individuals, avoiding chance, or asking odd questions. You see? This is interesting. Address behavior, step away, alert event organizer, and record if safe. Oh, so now record. Counter protesters shouting opposing messages, ignore a step away, or get a crowd. So if we just troll them, they just ignore, step away, and they go away, right? But they never do. They just, they just keep chanting, hey, hey, ho, ho. I mean, these are NPCs, dude. Okay, here we go.
Or fear. Even if the threat is not real at the time, their past experiences with people and the world may have wired their brains to expect harm or danger. When we as humans perceive threat or are otherwise incredibly stressed or angry or scared, we activate our survival brain. This more primitive part of our brain has only one job: to keep us safe.
DarkDox
It doesn't
Network.
care about reason or logic. In fact, the thinking parts of our brain turn off and we act mostly on instincts. These instincts include reading nonverbal cues from our environment. Those nonverbal cues are actually more important than verbal cues or what people say to us. So, when people are escalated, at their core, they want control. We give them control over their own safety and decisions. Do not block people, corner them, or block entrances or possible escape routes. As soon as you do, they want to fight or flee even more. Give 2 arm's length distance. Keep our body posture open so it does not appear that you are hiding anything. Keep your body posture as relaxed as you can, even if it's hard. A looming, towering figure only sends the message that you want to dominate. So if it feels okay to do so, ask them what would make them feel safe or feel better on the baseline after a perceived.
We forget things that happen, and we have a permanent record of.
This is like an hour long.
One of the best ways to keep yourself.
Might have to do a deeper dive because it's 44. A lot to cover. But we're going to come back to this. This is going to be an ongoing thing, I can tell. If you like what we do, you can check out thealexjonesstore.com/DarkDox. And when you use that URL, we get 10% of the profits that will help us to continue to fund this show and give me some gas money to go to some more protests, because that was really fun. And right now, what do they got going on? They got the everyone's talking about this ultra methylene blue. I ordered some. I've never tried it before. Apparently, go easy on this stuff because it's super concentrated, but it literally it corrects your mitochondria. It does so many things. It gives you a bunch of energy. Literally makes you electric. Shit's wild, so I'm curious. I'm going to try it. If you're going to get anything, get the Alex Jones VIP program. $30 a month, you get $40 in store credit. They give you a bunch of other perks and discounts, and it's awesome. And it's just, ensuring that, like, hey, I'm going to support $30 a month, And in that, you're pretty much getting everything half off is like what it comes down to after all the discounts and everything. Limited edition silver coins. They got the Alex Jones one. It's the 6th coin in the silver coin series. They got the Sheila G complex. They got the MK Ultra, which is magnesium and vitamin K. Turmeric gummies. They got t-shirts. They got big balls hats. Ooh, this is a new one. Tip of the Spear Infowars Veteran Challenge coin. That's a good looking coin. Tip of the Spear. And then the back says, with your shield or on it. See, if you're a club member, it's only $14.38. These are just like nice keepsakes. They had a nice one with like a Ronald Reagan quote about like, if you don't stand up for freedom, you're going to lose it kind of message on it. It's very well put. I'm butchering it. But yeah. So I gave one of those to my son. I gave one to my mom. They loved it. And yeah, they run good deals on those things. Anything else? Yeah, the Sambucus gummies, delicious, and like it's a good. I like elderberry. It's dynamite. Also, we have the DarkDox.me/shop, and go home. Take me home to the shop. Yeah, so we got these projectors, we got MP4 players, we got thumb drives with over a terabyte, over 100 documentaries. It has a bunch of stuff on all the Franklin cover-up stuff. It has Conspiracy of Silence. It has the Franklin cover-up audio book and PDF. It has the interviews with Alicia Owens, John DeCamp, Ted Gunderson, Hunter S. Thompson. It's all on there. Like, it's the whole archive. All of my research, it fits in this hard drive for that. It's all nice and compressed. The videos are like 360 format, so they're not too big. They're easy to share with other people, but good enough you could like burn DVDs with the quality of these things. So it's mid resolution. We got buttons. We got vinyl records, vinyl stickers. We got T-shirts. Pick up our film, Sacred Owls Are Here to Save the World. 10 chapters. We go to Boys Town, Nebraska to investigate this stuff. We go to the Bohemian Grove. We go to the Georgia Guidestones before. We actually shot a music video there before it was demolished. All of this shit's connected, man. Our comic books, Tales of Terror 1 and 2. And those are full color 20-page comic books with a full-length album from not just Sacred Owls, but you got Will Brack, Dougie Flesh and the Slashers, Gyro Jets, The Propel, Wes Morrison and the Stray Hairs, Jessa Lantern, and more. We got a bunch of cool... We made films during the lockdowns, and that was a big ordeal here in Orlando. Unmask is when I went out to all of the city council meetings about the mask mandates, the vaccine mandates. And yeah, so definitely check us out, darkdox.me/shop. We appreciate you. We're going to be out on Monday, April 14th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. outside the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall in Sarasota, Florida to confront Anthony Fauci with facts about the harm caused by his COVID-19 narrative and vaccine push to let him know he's not exactly welcome here in Florida. So viceforvaccine.com is putting on this one, and the Hollow Alliance. There's no link to that. Interesting. That's another rabbit hole, I guess. But one way or another, we're going to go out here to do our dark doxing and investigate and report and bullhorn and have fun. Here's a little taste.
Where is it? I like it. Trying to get your earwax out.
I think they like Alex Jones. Let's do some Alex Jones.
Oh my God.
And they tell the trainees to rip me off.
That's all I hear.
Get into it.
Yeah.
Jump up and down.
Yeah. That was like the exact amount of time to finish my slice of pizza. Yeah. So, let's see what's going on at WHITEHOUSE.GOV. All right. Presidential actions. Cancer Control Month, National Sexual Assault Awareness Prevention Month. Further amendment to duties addressing the synthetic opioid chain. Yeah, we'll stick with that. What are we at, 51? This month we recognize National Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month by ending the unfathomable human abuse committed under the open borders policies. One of the lead causes of sexual violence over the last 4 years has been the invasion of illegal aliens into our southern border. In a treasonous act of betrayal against the American people, the previous administration, the Biden administration... Get in here. Where's Hunter? Get me, Hunter. He's going to come up later in the episode. Treasonous act by the Biden administration. Unleash an army of gangs and criminal aliens from the darkest and most dangerous corners of the world. Yeah, so fuck you guys. Can we put them behind bars already? What are we doing? Yeah, I saw this crazy video on the... I didn't get a clip of it. Maybe I'll try to get it for Monday's episode. But it was this girl that was like going to her house and it was on the Ring door. And it shows like, you know, she was on the phone. She had a bag. She was like opening her door. And she locks the door behind her. And then within like 5 seconds... some random Hispanic dude, some brown dude comes over and he's just like kind of lurking around, and then he tries to open the door. He doesn't knock, he just tries to open the door, and then he just kind of stood around and like waited for a while. And could you imagine if she didn't lock the door behind her? It was like something out of a horror film. But lock your doors, people. They're coming in your windows. Just snatching your people up. Good work by US IMLS and Sonderling 47 canceling $25 million in waste DEI grants and $15 million in savings, including $265K for Queens College in New York to research why BIPOC, that's biracial people of color, right? Teens read Japanese comic books. It's true, though. $250K to erect LGBTQIA+PPK plus historical markers across Ohio. Let's see what else. These lists are just wild. For $140,000 for the University of South Carolina to create safe spaces for LGBTQIA+PPK plus individuals in libraries. It's a library, literally the whole place. Everyone has blue hair these days. It's a different world we live in. And $400,000 for the University of Tennessee to study LGBTQ library users' metadata. Why? $105,000 for California Association of Museums to address systemic racism in museums. $6.7 million. Like, the art scene is not gay enough, okay? $6.7 million for the California State Library to enhance equitable library programs. Like, again, these are like NPR, the most liberal. It's not gay enough for them. $1.5 million to Connecticut State Library System to integrate social justice, diversity, equity, and inclusion into their daily work. Didn't we have an executive order about that? That's all for today. It's plenty. All in one nice package tweet. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Elon. Get in here, Doge. Where's Doge? Keep up the good work. And Elon, that was stupid. Don't wear the cheese hat. Never wear the cheese hat. Trump tariffs are the end of globalization. Europe can't fight a trade war. When regimes end, they end in phases. Communism died over a period of 10 years, starting with the strike at the Gdańsk shipyard in 1980. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 was the great symbolic episode, and the 1991 coup against Mikhail Gorbachev was the final push. Yesterday was globalization Gorbachev's moment. Trump's first term was Gdańsk and the canary in the coal mine. Read more, link in description. It's unheard.com. I've never heard of you. You are unheard of. Police successfully unravel one of the largest pedophile networks, thousands of suspects already identified. Interpol has busted a massive international pedophile network based in Germany. The agency announced on Wednesday, according to Europol, authorities successfully raided a expansive child exploitation network operating across more than 30 countries. The takedown resulted in numerous arrests connected to distribution of illegal child abuse material. Here's Europol. I'm going to start following them. Keep up the good work. KidFlix, one of the largest pedophile platforms in the world, has been shut down in an international operation against child sexual exploitation. Europol has supported authorities from 38 countries worldwide in shutting down the platform. Here's their link in description. Over 91,000 CSAM videos. KidFlix was created in 2021 by a cyber criminal who made a huge profit from it. I want names. I don't want to hear they made a deal. As it quickly became one of the most popular platforms amongst pedophiles. According to authorities, 91,000 unique videos were uploaded and shared on the platform while it was active. While total running time from 6,288 hours, on average, around 3.5 new videos were uploaded to the platform every hour, many of which were previously unknown to law enforcement. So, good, more. This is only the beginning. This is only the tip of the iceberg. Afghanistan alien tells court he sodomized 13-year-old boy for revenge against France. An Afghan migrant confessed yesterday in a court to anally raping 13-year-old boy from French village of Croissels, saying he committed the act as revenge against France for denying him his asylum claim. Wow. Talk about misplaced. Heyo. In the case, he confessed to raping a homeless woman in the same village. Jesus. The village became well known in the media for establishing a reception center for migrants. Zalakahan, the Afghan in the case, made the confession in Paris during a separate murder trial he is facing for an innocent from 2022, in which he reportedly stabbed a tourist in the neck. Jesus. Death penalties, like once is enough.
À peine avions-nous fini que déjà les militants d'extrême.
I'll translate, or I will read the translation. No sooner had we finished, the far-left mutants were already laughing and ripping them off, and he was having the time of his life just as he done Lola and Thomas. And if they were laughing, it was because they knew they were supported by the crowd of students who were rapidly gathering around us. Supported by the members of the security team, supported by the impunity offered to them by the administration, and even supported the professor who was here. Jesus. So sexual violence against women in French public transport has increased 86% since 2016. It's because you can't carry guns. They won't even let you, like, they're banning samurai swords. I just heard they banned samurai swords. According to new data released today from the National Observatory on Violence Against Women, a disproportionate number of foreign nationals are involved in such crime. According to a 2023 report by the SSMSI, the Statistical Bureau of France Interior Ministry, 69% of violent robberies, assaults, and sexual attacks in the Les de France Paris transport network in 2022 were committed by foreign nationals. The MyProf survey also shows that 7 out of 10 women who live in the region have already been victims of sexual violence during their lifetimes. You can see this little faggot thinking it's okay to like rub his dick. Oh shit.
Mais arrête. C'est dégueulasse. Mais arrête.
Okay, that was it. 17 seconds. That's about how long he can last from the look of it. Little faggot. Tucker Carlson's horrified at Dr. Marley's tally. Bowen drops chilling COVID statistic. Dr. Mary Tally Bowen left Tucker Carlson visibly shaken after dropping a chilling COVID-19 vaccine statistic that impacts millions of children right now. Before her appearance on Carlson's show, Dr. Bowen, a Texas-based ENT specialist, rose to prominence in a medical freedom movement by speaking out against vaccine mandates. What's the thing? Don't make me read a bunch of shit. Okay. Despite the backlash, Bowen has remained committed to the Hippocratic Oath, successfully treated an impressive total of 6,000 COVID patients without a single death. All right, so here's the numbers. 38,476 deaths, 1,661,667. A lot of sixes in there. Reports through the February 28, 2025. 220,000 plus hospitalizations, 156 plus urgent cares, 247 plus thousand plus doctor's office visits, anaphylaxis of over almost 11,000. Bell's palsy, close to 18,000. My Sharia law, not gonna happen here. Awful tragedy. 16-year-old track star Austin Metcalf fatally stabbed by rival athlete during championship meets. Dies in his twin brother's arms. 17-year-old charged with first-degree murder. Death penalty. Sorry, son. We need to make an example of you. I mean, seriously, over sports, you people are fucking dumb. And when I say you people, I'm not talking about blacks. I'm talking about a lot of people. I'm not discriminating. I'm talking about a lot of people. What the fuck is wrong with you? Abortion pill horror stories are showing women the truth about killing the unborn. Pro-activist Leah Rose recently reported a heartbreaking screenshot. Past the embryo and it had a heartbeat. I was 7 weeks, 3 days yesterday and took my second dose of pills for misoprostol misoprostol dissolved in my cheek around 4:30 p.m. By 9, I had passed everything fairly painlessly. However, last night during the peak of the cramps at 6:30, I went in the restroom, and before I could even sit down, a fair amount of liquid poured out, along with a small sack probably about the size of a small blueberry. It had mostly clear white with dark red spots in the middle that was very, very clearly contracting like a heartbeat. It beat for probably 30 to 45 seconds, then nothing, and that literally shattered me. I have never felt this way, and I feel so much regret. I don't even know how what I saw was possible, and I can't find anyone to talking about this happening. I'm so confused and feel unbelievably guilty. Get in here, Hunter. Hunter Biden voluntarily surrenders D.C. law license to dodge disbarment battle over criminal convictions. Hunter Biden, the scandal-plagued son of Joe Biden, has voluntarily agreed to give up his license to practice law in Washington, D.C., according to Politico. The decision, revealed this week by D.C. Bar Board and Professional Responsibility, comes as no surprise to those who follow the young man's laundry list of legal troubles. The laptop is real, and we have it in the DarkDox archive. So if you get one of our projectors, one of our thumb drives, or one of our MP4 players, you can watch it all for yourself. Historic video. SpaceX astronauts prove the Earth is round. Amen.
It's crazy up here. It's so much fun. It is just mind-blowing. So much better than I ever even expected. That's true. Let me show you a shot outside. Oh my God! Check this out.
It's amazing. You know they're gonna the flat Earth is gonna tear this video apart.
I don't feel that's ice. Maybe just cloud.
It is just clouds. You can see it
Yeah,
here.
but you see below that thin layer of cloud, and maybe the ice.
With this space, a lot of people say, well, why have they never done this with manned human flight? Well, if you look at the globe, almost all the populations are from the equator up, and that's where the communication satellites need to be. You don't want to launch satellites that go north to south, because then they would only hit limited things that are on that line. You want them going around the population centers, okay? But finally, humans have orbited it, and I love the fact that it is amateur folks that paid to go up. This is real commercialization of space, real tourism, not some space plane that barely gets into space. This is the real deal. And the incredible curvature of the Earth that you see. I mean, you got these flat earthers say, oh, that's the portal. That's why it curves. No, this is a big window that opens up, and there they are with their cameras showing it. And I saw the delusional people online. Oh, no, it's CG. On. The world's flat. I'm going to tell you, I'm an amateur astronomer since I was a kid. My dad bought, when I was a teenager, a huge industrial one, a Meade, that now they've been sold to the public for a long time. It's all computerized. You can type it in, and it follows things. And I've sat there and watched Jupiter turning and its moons with my own eyes for 5-6 hours out there in the middle of the night. The planets are round, spherical.
Looking at this makes me closer.
The sun is.
It makes me feel closer.
That's what's going on.
God, closer to Christ.
And I get people want to believe that everything they've been told is a lie just because the corporate media lied to them. But this, this type of stuff is just madness.
I can tell the difference between AI.
Just because you have people on one end that believe two men can have a baby and whatever CNN says is true, and other people on the other end that
I know
really seem to believe the Earth is flat or they don't know what it is.
These swirls.
It's just completely moronic. And if you don't understand how the universe was formed, look at the arc of a welding arc. When it's melting, the pieces of metal are falling. Just in the time it drops from, say, 5 feet in the air and hits the ground, it's little tiny spheres.
Sure.
Because that's what a hot molten object does. And the Earth is still cooling off. You have the crust, the mantle, the core.
I've used plasma cutters.
And
absolutely
look at this cool spaceship that SpaceX built. So that you've got the big, and it's on the videos that are at
crazy. You can walk on
X on Real Alex Jones and also on Infowars.com. There's an article about it. And you can watch the whole thing and hear it all and watch them open up the big window and look at volcanoes going off down on Antarctica and at the Arctic.
That's just amazing. Link in description. That made me feel better about all this terrible things I've been covering today. Like, it's funny how things work out, because for some reason I liked the idea of like doing a demonic episode on Tuesday, and then Charlie Bravo was like, "Oh, I'd like to come on," so that was Wednesday. So I put off demonic until today, and it's like that was meant to be. I feel like that was like divine. Like, no, this isn't going to be an important episode. And I'm looking in the chat and like, I love all of you. Like, seriously, this is awesome. All right, what do we got? 9/11. Hollywood actor Jean-Claude Van Damme named in Romanian sex trafficking scandal. Actor accused of sleeping with 5 victims he knew were trafficked. Shame. Actor and movie star Jean-Claude Van Damme have been named in a criminal complaint filed by Romanian. It's always in Romania. Same thing with Andrew Tate and his brother. Investigation organization. So, I mean, maybe he's like being framed. I think that was a frame job, personally. 64-year-old Belgian born, known for his high-octane roles in Bloodsport, Kickboxer, and Street Fighter. Is also knowingly engaging in sexual acts with 5 Romanian women who were allegedly victims of a human trafficking network. The allegations claim the incidents took place roughly a decade ago at an event in Cannes organized by Van Damme himself. It's just coming out now? I don't know. We will continue to investigate as we do. The EU is already sharpening its knives against Hungary with plan to strip voting rights. The EU observer claims that rule of law in Hungary continues to deteriorate, which is why EU institutions are considering accelerating sanctions under Article 7 of the treaty. When people tell me that this is a judicial problem, it's a political decision, as the magistrate knows for herself, but that's not all. There are 10 reasons to be outraged by this ruling. Incidentally, the lawmakers did not receive this ruling. They got it this morning, 9:30 a.m. But last night, all the journalists had made up their minds, well, it's just one more element, but pretty revealing one. I arrived at 8 o'clock. Mr. Boulay, Mr. Birch, the lawyer, didn't have it. They got it this morning at 9:30 a.m. But I mean, once again, it's really a caricature in a way of the abandonment of any principle, of any value, of any democratic functioning of everything. The violation of all the rules governing the operations of our institution. I'm telling you, not one of you, many were the judgments of the right, have been criminalized. I need to research this a bit more. J6 political prisoner Dan Wilson forced to self-surrender by activists. TDS. Trump derangement syndrome. Judges Pam Bondi, we need your help. Open letter. almost 2 weeks after Gateway Pundit published the story of the J6er Dan Wilson, he had to himself surrender under duress of D.C. District Judge Dabney Frederick, court order and new order by 2 appeals court judges. Wilson was pardoned January 20th by President Trump, and now his neck is under the boot of radical activist judges. We got to wipe it and start over with these judges. It's crazy. They have no standing for this, as they like to say. Over 40 Tren de Agua members arrested in Central Texas.
The Hays County Sheriff Office, DPS, working with the FBI, ICE, Homeland Security investigators, and enforcement removal operations, established sufficient cause to obtain a search warrant to a residence in Hays County, which was executed by DPS Special Response Team. As a result of this operation, more than 40 individuals, including minors, taken into custody at or near the residence, and narcotics were seized. And it goes on from there. State and local prosecutors will evaluate potential charges based on the evidence obtained during the search warrant and subsequent investigation.
We will not put up with ICE. We will not put up with ICE. No hate, no ICE in our state. Families, children, do not fear. We are neighbors, welcome here. We are neighbors, welcome here.
You have these arrests happening everywhere. Remember, this gang was just taking over a few apartments in Colorado. No, it's Illinois, Texas, California, New York, Florida. And the difference is Trump's in there now, so they're raiding them. The massive criminal globalist network has been exposed. We have the Democratic Party literally defending the Venezuelan gangs, the El Salvadoran gangs, MS-13, all of it. And now there's been a joint operation with the state and the cities, Hays County, Travis County, the state of Texas, joint TDA, Tren de Agua, operation results in over 40 arrests in Hays County alone. And they are here being processed in Austin. For more than a year, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the San Antonio Police Department, the Texas Department of Public Safety, and several other federal, state, and local
All right. So yeah, it's a 13-minute
have been investigating
description. Noah W. says, if we're flying through space, why have the stars never moved or changed? Asked Alex. We're not flying through space. We're orbiting around the sun, and the sun is orbiting around the center of the Milky Way. We're on one of the arms of the Milky Way galaxy. So from our perspective, things do, kind of shift and over time. I used a software called Starry Night back in my early 20s when I was actually studying solar astronomy and stellar astronomy. And you can actually go back in time and go forward in time and predict when and where what. Then there's the parallax. Nothing shifts. So no, you can actually see over time, there is an orbital movement to all of it, and kind of like a warping over time. You can track all of this stuff, and you don't even need computer software. You can do it over time, charting stars. I'm happy to teach you some of this stuff. I'd love to get back into it myself, but we got Democrats supporting Tren de Agua, and we're talking about whether or not the Earth is round or flat. 3 GOP states find 300,000 bad voter registrations, along hundreds of non-citizens registered to vote. Previously deported illegals charged with molesting 14-year-old girl in Florida. Jesus.
47-year-old Apolinar Lopez Honorado seen handcuffed sitting in the back of a Stewart police car Wednesday morning.
They always look like
Officers
that
say
guy.
just days ago, a mother called police after her 14-year-old daughter confided in her about an upsetting encounter with Honorado.
The mother explained to Stewart police officers on the scene that the daughter reported some inappropriate touching that took place.
Detectives say Honorado was living in the same house as the victim's family, renting a separate room inside. And here's where this case takes another turn. Investigators say Honorado is in the U.S. illegally, and this isn't the first time.
What I do know is simply that he has been deported in the past. That we do know. Where he's from, how long ago he was deported, I don't have that information.
Police have alerted U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. They say his illegal re-entry raises questions about how he was able to return after being deported. Meanwhile, detectives are encouraging parents to talk to their kids because there could be more victims. 47-year-old Apolinar Lopez.
Oh, we got a new Reese report. Scrapping the First Amendment. I haven't seen this, so we're going to watch this together. Scrapping the First Amendment at the behest of a foreign power. I know where this is going.
On the campaign trail, Donald Trump promised to deport those protesting Israeli war crimes.
Unlike liberal Kamala, I will support Israel's right to win its war on terror. You have to support that. Got to win, got to finish it off. And instead of pandering to the jihad sympathizers and America-hating radicals, we will deport them. We will deport them very quickly. We have no choice.
When it comes to Israel, who has given him over $230 million, Trump keeps his promises. For simply writing an op-ed article on the Israeli genocide of Gaza, Rumeysa Öztürk was kidnapped off the street by unidentified plainclothes federal police.
You guys covering your faces? You want to take those masks off? Is this a kidnapping? Yeah, you don't look like it. Why are you hiding your faces? Why are you hiding your faces?
So a couple things here. This is a hot take. I already know I'm going to get some heat for this, but that's right. I used to be opposed to law enforcement hiding their faces when doing certain operations. But now, investigating, seeing a lot of operations with law enforcement, especially now, dealing with like literal domestic terrorists, doxing and swatting people that like they are serving and protecting, but they need to be protected, like when they're doing certain things. So I mean, again, I don't know enough about this particular footage that they're showing right now, who this girl is, what's going on, but let's see what Greg has to say about it.
Can I see some faces here? How do I know this is the police?
Who does not need the right to cover their face while doing certain things is activists. And, it's like, and, just like the whole, like, getting you not showing your face for like a driver's license because you're Muslim. Like, no, you have to show your face, dude. Like, I don't know. I have a problem with this whole like mask thing, left and right. I mean, it's one thing if like you're working and like you're trying to like, I don't know. It's a hot take. Again, I mean, I don't know how we deal with this, but like we have to be able to identify the demons. Like if I see someone committing a crime, I'm gonna run up and rip your fucking mask off. That's what I'm gonna do. If I catch you committing a crime, first thing I'm gonna do is rip your fucking mask off and film your face. I want to film your face, so that way everyone knows who you are. You have to uncover evil.
Seems like bullshit to me. Certainly looks like it.
Arguably the cornerstone of American freedom, the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution is to protect the right of the people to peacefully express their views, no matter who they may offend. But Trump's Make America Great Again movement is clearly about Israel first, and Israel is getting their money's worth.
People are demonstrating with passion. These ignorant demonstrators. Who are they demonstrating for? For these murderers, these rapists, these mass killers. This is a reflection of a deep rot that has pervaded the intellectual hub of free societies. And this vilification of Israel, the Jewish people, and Western values has been propagated by a systemic alliance between the ultra-progressive left and radical Islam. It must be resolutely fought by civilized societies to safeguard their future. This is why we must all commend President Trump's decisive actions against anti-Semitism, and we must pressure other governments to do the same.
MAGA is leading the way in censorship, but that's not good enough for the Zionists who control America.
Anti-Semitism is not just an age-old prejudice. It is a contemporary crisis manifesting on campuses across the nation. It is not enough for individuals or institutions to merely claim they are not anti-Semitic. As my father once taught me, it is not enough for people, especially public figures, to be neutral or not be anti-Semitic. One must be anti-Semitic. We must demand the same of our universities and government institutions. This hearing, in my opinion, is an attempt to be just that, anti-Semitic.
There is no voting your way out of this quagmire. Israel has control over the U.S. government.
Government can do in 2 months more than any organization can do in its lifetime. The government, the United States government or the government of France or the government of any other country, has the power to rein in anti-Semitism in a much more effective way. And you know, people say, well, you know, the governments are not in the business of changing the way people think. That's true, but, you know, to my thinking, most people who are, you know, anti-Semites, most of these people running around, we're not going to win their hearts and minds because they don't have hearts and they don't have minds. So, you know, how are we going to, there's no reason to think we're ever going to convince them, but we can deport them, we can put them in jail, we can make their lives miserable, we can cut off their funding, and that's what the Trump administration is doing for the first time.
Greg Reese reporting.
Yeah, so fuck that shit. I am totally with Greg Reese. You know, like, I don't care. Our First Amendment is that we have the right to say whatever the fuck we want and believe whatever the fuck we want to believe. And no one can tell us otherwise. So, I mean, these like anti-Semitism bills, and I've been complaining about it from the get-go. Like, I don't care whether you're Jewish or Muslim or whatever. Like, if you're fucking around, I'm going to call you out. And you Muslims, you're fucking around. You Jews, you're fucking around. There's Christians that are fucking around. There's a lot of people claiming to be followers of Christ, and they are fucking around. Like Boys Town, Nebraska, like Lawrence King. And it looks like Noah, is this Noah Westwind in the chat? Like, you know, you're on a purity spiral here. He's like, FYI, stop calling your offspring kids or children. You can't say children either, like, because kids are baby goats. Yes, I know. It's a habit, and I know words are spells and spelling, and that one just doesn't bother me. And I mean, I'm a parent. I love my. You can't call them children. I have to say offspring every time. I call him my spawn. Can you say spawn? Or spawn bed? Spawn. because there's a Spawn of Satan. Of course, there's a Spawn in the comic books. But, like, come on, like, we're ant fucking here. Also, it's a driver license, not a driver's license. Yeah, but if you're a driver and you have a license to drive, this is semantics. If you're a driver and you have a license to drive a vehicle, son or daughter, yeah, that's true. Yeah, so if you're a driver, it's your driver's license as well as a driver license. Driver license sounds stupid. Like, I don't know why I don't like it. I prefer driver's license. It's not incorrect because I'm speaking like as a driver, it is my license. I don't have to use the all capital, say exactly what is on the document. Like, what are we doing here, dude? Calm down. CNN's Abby Phillip lies about Elon Musk and Social Security, gets corrected by a former Wisconsin governor, Scott Walker. Yeah, that's a pretty good video. Link in description, but we're at 9:30. Man, there's so many things. I'm just going to read off headlines and get out of here. For the weekend, ICE deports Mexican illegal for the 39th time, death penalty. Because they just keep coming in, so you kill them. I'm sorry. I don't have time for this. ICE Houston just deported a Mexican, because it's not killing, okay? Like, if these people are committing violent crimes, we're saving lives here. It's a net positive. ICE Houston just deported a Mexican criminal for check notes for the 39th time. Sadistic pedophile who hoarded over 8 million violent child rape images declared he's a woman following conviction, death penalty. Human garbage human Joy Behar wonders if there will be a backlash against Republicans over death sentence of Luigi Mangione. She would fucking blow him if she could. Let's hear this.
Because he's very popular, this guy.
I was surprised.
I mean, this could be a backlash, you know?
I was a little surprised there. He's kind of become a cult hero. I don't think it's right on circles on the left and some parts of the right that see him as this sort of populist warrior. I don't agree with that.
Nobody on the right sees this guy as a populist warrior.
I don't want to amplify because I disagree with
far
him.
right and far left meet on anti-corporation. Murder is bad. Murder.
Y'all just have no idea about anything, and that's why they have you on the television set. It's television, huh? Possible explosive near White House, bomb squad and Secret Service investigating. It's just almost daily these days. Nope, sorry. There's nothing in the footage. Okay. A suspicious package near White House has prompted the deployment of bomb squad.
And police are clearing it now. There's an incredible police presence from what I've heard. I know that the White House has stopped all visitors. They shut down Pennsylvania Avenue in front of it. On grounds, we're looking okay because we got that giant building shielding us from where it would be on the other side. But I tell everybody when you come out here, this is simultaneously the most dangerous place in the world and the safest place in the world. I just want to say God bless and protect the people out there trying to work to clear this, and hopefully everybody's safe out there. But yeah, it's a real thing. It could happen any moment out here. So yeah, real breaking news from the White House. Again, have a great day.
So like, what if you have a son and a daughter? Because you can't say children. So what do you say, son and daughter? What if you have two sons and one daughter? You can't just like group them into one thing. That just irks me. Trans-identified male athlete calls for cancellation of tennis league after removal from women's category. Look at this fucking guy. Yeah, clown. AOC decorates office doorway with notes like "I heart abortion." Good boy.
We are outside of the office of New York Congress Lady Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. As you can see, she has decorated her door and outside of her door with some post-its from her supporters and her well-wishers. And there are some pretty wild stuff here. Of course, a lot of advocation for illegal immigration. We have this one right here, of course. I love abortion and the Green New Deal. So that's outside of AOC's office. And it's not even the most eye-grabbing one. Here's Big Booty Latina AOC. So this is what Team AOC is doing. And just in case they try to take it down, because one of the staffers here just saw me doing this, that's what it says right there, outside of AOC's office. I heart abortion.
So loving, so liberal. Michelle Obama takes another jab at Barack Obama amidst divorce rumors.
Very quaint. So I'm glad you're here.
I am glad to be here, and our listeners should know that you have your oldest nephew got married this summer.
I'm just so happy for Avery.
It was
Avery
really
and
neat.
Emily. So
another Mrs. Robinson.
Another Mrs. Robinson. Yeah, that's strange.
That is.
How does it feel having your first child married?
I will tell you that Kelly and I were so
It's the most boring thing I've ever heard. And you can queue up YouTube clips that when you hit play, it starts from what you're talking about. They do it sometimes. I think they fucked up. Woman's fencer refuses to face transgender opponent at competition, taking a knee in protest. She's like, nah. So it's pretty fucked up because what ended up happening is she ended up getting kicked out of the tournament, and even Fox News was talking shit about her. Was it in this clip? No, it's just that. But yeah, they end up escorting her out of the building. It's good for you, girl. Shit's crazy. You can't let it happen. She did the right thing. Done with Dems. New York Mayor Adams run for re-election as an independent. Might as well be a Republican at this point. Calls out Biden DOJ and urges citizens to read FBI Director Kash Patel's book.
Although I am still a Democrat, I am announcing that I will forego the Democratic primary for mayor and appeal directly to all New Yorkers as an independent candidate in the general election.
The mayor's announcement comes one day after a federal judge dismissed the corruption charges against him permanently, not allowing the Trump administration to keep them hanging over his head.
Although I am still a Democrat.
So Tony says a man's grammar, like Caesar's wife, should not only be pure, but above suspicion of impurity. Edgar Allan Poe. So yeah, Noah's insisting I call children offspring. Why can't you say children, though? I don't, explain to me in the chat why you can't say children. I never got that memo. Never heard that one. That concludes today's episode. It is 9:38 Eastern Standard Time. And you still there in the chat? So you guys don't think this is real? I don't know. It's wild. Children is children is a legal term. I see where you're going with that. All right. Learn something new every day. So I would like to thank Jesus Christ for today's episode. Christ is King. And that does it for this entire week. So thanks for tuning in. If you like what we do, definitely check out the alexjonestour.com/darkdox and cash.app/darkdox. If you'd like to just send me a couple bucks, I'd greatly appreciate it. And also we have the DarkDox shop, darkdox.me/shop. And, pick up a t-shirt. I make them myself. They're excellent quality, made here in the U.S. by yours truly, Christian Coffins. Once more, turning down the universe, coming back down the sea worlds, and reminding you to beware Take care. Bye-bye.
Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order. It's Christian Coffins.
DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest. If you value this program, donate what you can at cash.app/DarkDox. DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest.